All right, y'all. Hey, I just wanted to let you guys know that I'm gonna normally open the video on a bright note, but as of right now, all I'm gonna say is this needs to stop, and that's just it. Like. That's just it. Like, this needs to stop. To stop. So just keep watching the video and you're gonna see what I'm talking about. Alright, so now that you guys are back from my bomb intro, let me know y'all views on it, how y'all feel about it. I actually had to take my book that I put my ideas for YouTube and ideas in general, like related to content creating, in this book and write it down. This is the first time I actually did this, and I have receipts and like threads that I'm gonna also put on the screen, but I'm gonna read it from the school Chromebook that I'm using, so y'all know I'm not like capping. So yeah, so the words and stuff might come over my face a little bit, cause yeah, like you're gonna see it on this side of the screen. I'm gonna put it right here, all the receipts and everything. Okay. So basically what I have to say is thank you guys so much for even clicking on my video, for being concerned and like, what the hell is she talking about? Thanks for even clicking on this video. I hope that you stay until the very end. I know that I'm getting a lot of you guys' attention and you are like, I'm retaining your stuff. And I really want you guys to know that it's not only going to like make you guys feel good when you come to my channel, because like if I feel good, I'm going to record a video of me feeling good and making other people feel good. But this video is more so focused on the fact that people are feeling good doing negative things, and they think that other people are supposed to react in a way that's just like accept it, like it is what it is, so what are you gonna do about it? Like, that's the approach. It's not more like, oh, it's funny to me now but I'm gonna learn from it. It's like I have to be threatened first. Like, the person has to be threatened first for them to understand that, hello, this is not a joke and it's not a game. So I'm gonna just get into exactly what I had written here, like, and briefly touch on it and tell you what the heck it is and what it isn't. Because this is ridiculous. Like, to be honest, it's ridiculous. Like, I don't think I'm better than anyone. I know I'm better than I know I'm better than a specific person. I know I'm better than a person, even if they have more money than me. Like, spiritually, I know I'm so invested not only in myself, but in that connection that I know that no one can come and easily, like, mess me up. Or no one can easily come and, like, throw me off. Because if you throw me off, you're just going to lead me into a different direction. And I'm going to find something else to do. And you're just going to be like, can I stop this chick? And the answer is no. No, never gonna catch me. You can't get rid of me. Like, you cannot get rid of me. Like, no matter what you do, the only way that y'all could have got rid of me was when I was in my mother's uterus. And that was already a given that I was still going to be born. So whatever you do to me while I'm here in this physical form, you can't get rid of me. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You can't get rid of me. Even when I'm long gone and dead, my spirit is still going to be roaming. My spirit is still going to have an existence and rub off on you. Like, you can't get rid of me. Like, do you see this man right here in this picture? This man, his name is Edward. We called him Uncle Eddie. Do you understand how long ago this guy has physically passed in a physical form and he's still not gone? Like, body's burnt, body's in the crematory garden, like, gone. Body's gone, but spirit is still in this house, still in this atmosphere. So it's like, you have to understand, when you have a genuine vibe in spirit, no one can get rid of you, really. Like, if you're giving out positive, the positive is going to last more than the negative is. The negative come and go. The negative is like a good headline. Like, oh, did you see so-and-so got beat up? Did you see so-and-so got injections? Like, that's temporarily. Like, nobody's going to remember that. We're going to be like, okay, and next. Like, people are going to have their views on it. But if you're a genuine person and you're a genuine spirit and you've built yourself up for that. Example, Nipsey Hussle. So, as I was saying, like, Nipsey Hussle, that is a guy, that is an example of a being, of a spirit, of a person so true to what it is that he wanted to do with his people and for his people. Like, I wasn't directly, like, I would say, affected by Nipsey Hussle's passing or him even when he was here in the physical sense. However, I know the legacy that he left behind is more than him, more than the name that he created for himself, and more than the platform of like, okay, he raps. He raps about real stuff. Like, no, he was doing business in his hood, like setting up the other upcoming like singers, rappers, whoever, to be mentally straight, to be like on point, to the point where it's like, yeah, I understand that you're here right now, but I'm not even on this frequency with you. I'm on the next level. Like, you're not there yet, but I'm gonna work with you. So it's like, it takes that person of that type of intellect to understand that, hey, you could get rid of me. Like, you could shut me up for 2 seconds, but don't forget that before you go to bed, you're gonna think about what I said. Like, before you even like probably go and get your next meal, it's gonna be on your brain what I just told you, and you're not gonna understand why it's still there. You're gonna be trying to rebuttal it in your head, even though you're not physically rebuttaling with me, and you're still not gonna get anywhere. But the simple fact that you're just like being ignorant, or like you're being blatantly, like you don't care, like you don't care in that moment, but your subconscious is like, bro, she has a point. Like, bro, he has a point. Like, he's saying the truth right now. She's saying the truth right now. So it's like, you're either gonna face it or you're gonna fight it. Well, that's a good like little slogan. You're either gonna face it or you're gonna fight it. So if you're gonna, it's like the basic fight or flight response. If you're gonna fight what's being told to you, of course you're gonna be more resilient and hard-headed towards it, so you're not gonna want to listen. However, if you're hard-headed in the moment, I mean, everybody has their moments where they're like ignorant and, disrespectful and they don't want to listen. But if you have that moment and you somewhat learn from it, even if you don't tell the person, oh, I learned from it, like if you go into another situation and you know not to do the same thing, you've succeeded. Like, that's what I had to learn myself. So when it comes to all right, so I just wanted to get back on the topic of everything that this video is going to touch on, which is those things about being like trial and ever fight or flight response when it comes to learning or growing or facing a fear. But this is more so about the things that are going on in another platform, and I'm pretty sure we all know what that platform is. TikTok. So TikTok was really actually known before as Musically, and it rebranded itself. A lot of people probably don't know that, or probably didn't peep that, but I did, because when I realized, I searched up my old account looking for Musically, TikTok came up. So it's like that brand rebranded itself completely. Before, it was like well-known people like Baby Ariel on it. Now on this app is revamped, renewed. Now it's people like, what's her name? Charlie D'Amelio. Like, I don't know if I butchered her name, my bad, but I don't know of her. I just see her like on TV or like these little events or whatever. And so she's the newest white girl that's hyping it up and, getting the clout, doing the dances. And I think that Charlie actually gives credits, like the girls who did, I think her name is Sky Beauty, who did the Captain Hook challenge. Like, she gives credit. Like, that's a good thing, as she should. So it's just like, I don't know her fully to speak and give full credits. However, the reason that I'm really upset with this whole TikTok app, or like, I don't really have a love-hate relationship with the app, but it's just more of I use the app when it's convenient, or when I'm bored, or when I remember I even have the app. So it's just that I love, like, the main thing I love seeing is black creators. Not just because they black and I'm black, but like, I mean, black people have flavor. Black people have sauce. Like, they just have that, like the Megan Thee Stallion, like just about them. And it's like, not all black people are like rough, but then it's like the people who are soft spoken when they speak and they have a point. You're just like, oh, I did not expect that. Like, we're so versatile. And another thing, I love white creators too, or creators that don't identify as black people, African American people. Like, when they be real funny, they be doing a Nicki Minaj verses, they be doing all this, like, it be so funny. And I just be like the tap. I even might comment, and I don't really comment that much, but I was just like, okay. So, like, I just like overall the good, authentic vibe of the app. Like, I don't like when it's forced, or when I'm only seeing one type of thing. Like, I like when it's like a freedom to it, but the analytics are still adding up to a certain point. So the whole thing I just like is authenticity. But if you're not being authentic, no, I don't like it. Like, don't do it. So, these scandals have been going on. Everybody's been seeing it with the girl who said, how's my form? And saying the 3/5 compromise. And all of these talking about, oh, niggers. Like, using that, the frame, Niggers. And it's just like, okay, that's so funny. And you run it under the water and you see NIGGERS pop up. Like, that's so funny. Like, I feel as though if it was funny to you in the moment, and it was funny when you posted it, when you started getting backlash and bad comments, you should have deleted the video ASAP. Like, oh shoot, they talking about me. Or if you see some people laughing at it, and then you see some other people like really heated in the comments, like if they writing you essays, child, or long paragraphs more than like 2 sentences, then you know somebody's heated enough. Because in this generation, we do not take no time to write out anything unless it's in school. Let's be real. So if somebody's going out their way to tell you, I don't like what you're doing, I think that's so disrespectful, you're ignorant, that's dumb. Like, if they're going in like that, and you realize it's not just like a few people there, you need to delete it. I mean, you're going to get exposed anyway. Like, it's going to resurface. That's what the internet does. Because once you post it, you post it. But if you post it and you learn from it, there's a purpose behind you doing that. But it's still not even that surface level of you learning the purpose of why you did it. But I feel as though if you posted that same thing, that issue, with confidence, then this is how we're going to end it. Right now, I need you guys to like, comment, subscribe, add, like, dislike. If you dislike, let me know why you dislike what I'm saying so we can actually have a conversation, not have an argument or confrontation. Like, let's speak like big kids. So just be sure to do that, guys. And I'm so sorry I'm coming off like a little bit rough, like hostile, but I'm not really sorry. But it's like it needs to be said, so I'm going to say it. I'm tired of typing it out because people don't physically see me talking to them. So this is a platform where the whole entire world can see me talking to them and addressing them. I'm not going to sit here wrong and strong. If I did something wrong, if I said something wrong, I'm going to ask, why was this wrong that I said that? Like, it may seem like I'm still coming off with an attitude because I'm like, yeah, why are you telling me I'm wrong? But in reality, it's more humbling. Like, can you explain to me why this was wrong? So, in reality, I just want to speak about how we're going to change this and what we're going to do to stop this. Because I'm tired of the consequences being happen after it reaches their school. No, because I'm pretty sure there's someone in the school who's monitoring students' Instagram, Facebook, and there is some type of person like that other than, like, you know, certified agents online or on the black web or whatever is going on. Because I used to go to the previous school I was in freshman year, and this one, I think that was a dean, she was like, I have all of you guys' social media, so I see everything you guys post. Like, they have to have some type of monitor or someone who's going to hold a grade responsible who, like, has a big following in the class, like, or a school, whatever it is, and let that person be checked. Like, yeah, we all follow this one person, you're famous, but if we see another smaller person do something, we're going to call that out because we have the bigger platform to say, hey, yo, that was kind of messed up, don't do it again. You know? So that's what I think is, like, a good proposal. However, before that even happens, because a lot of people don't like calling out their friends, which means you're not really somebody's friend if you can't call them out. Calling them out doesn't always mean, yo, are you dumb? Why would you post that? Calling someone out is like, girl, what are you talking about? Or like, girl, inbox me. Or boy, you kidding. You gotta be joking, bro. Email me. Like, I don't care. Email me. Even if it was like that. But you know what I mean? Like, yo, bro, text me. Because what are you talking about? Like, what's going on? Stuff like that. It's not always like, oh my God, at your friend name. You are so dumb. You are so stupid. Like, I'm going to insert the meme, but.
Oh, you are so dumb. You are really dumb.
It's not like that, you know? It's not in that sense of you calling somebody out and calling them dumb. You're actually trying to teach them something or question why they think that way. So, with that being said, I was on Twitter last night. I actually didn't go to sleep at all. Like, the video that you're going to see before this or even after this is my signing off video for high school. Y'all, when I tell y'all, I made that video without no sleep, and I was just having energy. It was just so funny and comedic. It was just, you know, funny as hell. So I made the video this morning. I was too busy explaining how ignorant this person was. Like, I was actually agreeing with the person who I found off of Twitter. I don't know the person's at, but I know I'm on this girl's Instagram right now. And her name is Keisha Coleslaw _ y'all gonna see her stuff right here on the screen anyway. I'm gonna be scrolling and stuff while I talk because I'm not gonna read everything as I go because it's gonna be a lot. So hopefully by now y'all already seen some messages up, but yeah. So I was too busy last night, like literally breaking it down to a female who I thought was agreeing with the point that was made, like calling out I think the girl's Latina, and calling her out saying, ma'am, like, what is so funny about you saying the N-word or saying a certain slur? So, but it was just a piece of it that surfaced. And that one piece of the video, the girl who's Latina was just like joking, like, oh, you're big mad or you're little mad. And like, I was just like, what are they even talking about? Like, I didn't understand what they were talking about. I'm thinking they're friends or something. So Keisha Coleslaw underscore, she in the video, in the video, she was saying like, what's so funny? And like, okay, I'm gonna put the clip in right here.
Let me walk away. So I know one of your little friends. Oh my God, I can't believe she said that. Hold up. She said, let me do that hair. The hair's already done. The hair is already done. But you already can't do that. What? What's so funny? What's funny? What's funny? What's funny? You big man? You big man? I'm not big man. I'm mad at your little fan that said, let me do the hair. Because the hair's already done. But you wouldn't know that because you can't do that with your...
So yeah, that's the video y'all just saw. So that's the video y'all just saw. I actually was playing it on my end as I popped it in over here so I could know the time, you know, just to understand it. However, if y'all seen from that clip, the girl is sitting in your lap. Are you big mad or you little mad? And you know how social media is. They will find out everything about you in 2.5 seconds, even if you don't post so much. So that's why I monitor exactly what I post. And I don't give out too much information until it's safe for me to do so. So, yeah, like, I know from the whole Pop Smoke situation, you really can't trust nobody in your circle, and people could easily come up to your house and do stuff. But if you know you're protected and you're on a different type of level, as was Nipsey Hussle, how I responded to you guys, like, and I let you guys know.
I got something for you here.
So, as I was saying about, like, the Nipsey Hussle situation, where his spot probably wasn't even known, but that person still came and targeted him. At the end of the day, they didn't do anything but make him bigger, more of a bigger spiritual being. So it's like, I'm still careful with that because too many legends in the making have already passed based on those simple, you know, being a little bit too open and having too much fun and trusting too many people with their private information like their home and stuff like that. So they found the girls, what is it called? They found this school. They found out that this girl, I don't know if she's Afro-Latina, but I'm going to say Latina from the looks of this video. Because that's what everybody does, judge a book by a cover. That's what social media is. You look at somebody's page and you judge them. You look at somebody's page and you see a verification so you know they're important. You look at somebody's page, you see what they're posting. You either like it or you don't like it and you don't follow them. Or you write something about how you don't like it. That's what social media is for. So from the looks of it, as I'm looking at this video and as you guys just saw, the girl looks like she's Latino. She comes from a country where they speak Spanish, a Spanish-speaking country. So, from the looks of it, you could see how upset the girl with the afro was. Keisha Coleslaw underscore. You can see how upset Keisha was. I don't know if that's her real name or like, you know, I don't know. But hey, you can see how upset Keisha was in that video. So, for Keisha to have, like, you know, the composure that she had, and the girl, let me just walk away in the beginning, was something I would do. But the way how she effortlessly did that without calling that girl out her name in that clip that I saw, without her calling that girl out her name, without her retaliating at that girl and going down her throat, with her saying repeatedly, what's funny? What is funny? You think it's a joke that your follower is saying this and the third? She's asking for a literal conversation. At that point where I seen that female, I don't even know this girl's name. By the looks of it, she's not that cute. Her hair's uneven. I'm talking about hair because I just did my hair, so I can say I did my hair, you know? But from by the looks of it, you're not that cute. Your hair's uneven. So how you dare you talk about somebody else here who's from a whole different race, and you're saying a slur that's offensive to them and their people, and you're asking them if they're big mad? It doesn't make sense to me. Like, I wouldn't come up to somebody with an opinion like, I don't like how you... Like, I would probably say to my head, I don't like how this looks. But, you know? But in the situation where the young female was sitting there on the other side of the phone, I think they're from Arizona. I don't know where this girl is from. I really don't care where she's from. Your location doesn't matter about what privileges you get to say. Your location matters about your opportunities and your access to certain things. But like I touched on in the Cardi B video, just because she's from New York and she claims to be Afro-Latina, if she doesn't out front say, yes, I'm an African-American person, I'm an African-American Latina woman, I'm an Afro-Latina, and she can prove that with, like, you know, family pictures or family portraits or whatever they have, like little get-togethers, then I don't think you're justified, or I don't think you get the pass to say the N-word just based on your location. You have opportunities, yes, living in New York. Duh. Everybody wants to come to New York. Everybody wants to go to Cali. Everybody wants to go to Florida. Everybody wants to go to Georgia. Why is it? Because it's a more populated place. It's more urban. It's more like, you know, everybody gets to go there. It's more modern in certain places. Like, it's the go-to spot for everybody else. So that's why people in these, like, areas that I mentioned before are, like, so well known. Like, Texas is a big state, but Texas in itself, that's all I'm gonna say. So Texas in itself, with certain people like KKK members or people who still in clans and who still hold true to that. Even in Virginia, where I'm about to go to school, I remember we were driving, like my aunt and I, we were driving with my little brother in the back, and I saw a Confederate flag on the highway. I said, wait a minute. And that was like 2 years ago. So there's still people out there who believe that they're superior than black people, who feel like they're still superior than Latinos and Latinas, who feel like they're still superior than gay people. Like, they feel like they're superior than people who are in wheelchairs, like people who have some type of disadvantage. It's not really a disability, but it's a disadvantage. And so it's like, people still think like this, my guy. Like, before they put up the American flag, my dude, they still respect the Confederate flag. Like, don't get that confused. And so don't get that confused when you go into a populated... So don't get that confused when you go to a populated area and people are saying certain slangs and you feel like, oh, okay, since I'm in this area now, I can say this certain slang. No. Like, imagine me being a black female, a black woman. You can see I'm black. The whole idea of race, I learned from a teacher in freshman year, is that race isn't really race in the sense that we see it in the social, like, way that we break it down. Race is the color of someone's skin. However, in a different part of the world, the race may just be your economic status. So it's like a different hierarchy that people are judged upon. And it was so easy for Europeans, for white people who colonized the Americas from the Native American people, to come and say the problem was now that, oh, we brought black people here, and so we discovered this land, and we're going to wipe you out of history, and now these black people are here. We're going to act like we're the original people because we came here, we took it from y'all, and we gave y'all diseases y'all wasn't familiar with because your body didn't need to adapt to those diseases anyway, like we did in that different part of the climate. However, now that the black people are here, we're going to talk with the black people, and you're less than us because we brought you here. So you owe it to us. Why do you keep asking me questions? Say as to why something is, oh, we're different races. It's the sense that, okay, so we took the black people here. Yes, we did kidnap them. We killed them. We put them on ships. We packed them like sardines in boats. Yes, some of them jumped off. Who cares? That's not our business. When we brought them here, we had to train them. We had to tell them what it is to have soap. We had to tell them how to brush their hair. We had to tell them how to comb their hair. We had to tell them how to appeal to the white man. And, like, you know, just other adapting to our way of society, because that's just what we want. We want them to be westernized like us. Like, if they're not westernized like us, what's the point of them being equal as us? So a mechanism was used, okay, race. So you're less than me. So why is it that also, when you think about it, why are Italians being treated like bottom of the bottoms, and they're also, like, technically a European because they're, like, on that side of the world? It's because they had a different strategy of what it meant to be race or to be higher than the next person. So it's like, it's all about perception and who has the main power to do so. So the people who have the main power to do so of this time is those who run Hollywood, those who run some of the YouTube spaces, those who own and operate some of these platforms that a lot of minorities are using and bringing in revenue. So when it comes to a point where a lot of people are speaking up about it, it's seen as almost like, how dare you? Like, you got this app for free. How dare you come on here and blast other people? But it's not really considering blasting people. When you're trying to teach people something, But since they have this set preconceived notion and this archetypical view of you, a group of people, they're going to think, oh my God, why are you yelling at me? Why are you screaming at me? Why are you being an angry black woman right now? Oh my God, that black man has on a hoodie. What if he has a gun? Like, where do these notions come from? Like, I don't understand. If I were to see a white person with a hoodie on, I wouldn't think, oh my gosh, she's gonna kill me. I wouldn't. And why is that? Because in Hollywood or on TV, we don't see that often. We usually see those black colors, those dark shades in little kid stuff that we watch. And we're like, oh snap, that's the bad guy. Look, he's wearing all black. So then when we grow up and adapt to it, you see a darker skinned like person. Now you're scared of the person. For what reason? Like, why would I be scared of you? It's just that I don't know what you're thinking. That's the more scary part of it. I don't know what you're thinking up here, and I don't know your mental state. That's what people should be more scared of. And so since it's so accepted that people are being funny, but they're really using history of those minorities to belittle them and make a joke out of it, it shows that white people don't have enough history on their own in order to be a little bit more original or have a little bit more flavor, to have pride other than belittling other people. If you think about it, like, I'm not really too much into like the American history. I really don't care too much about American history, but I care about African American history. So that's why my minor at Virginia State University is going to be in Africana Studies. I didn't want it to make it my major because I felt like that was really too directing me to one thing. However, I like film. I like creating content. So therefore, me choosing Africana Studies is going to enlighten other people and teach them the truth about what it means to actually have melanin and be, like, confident in the skin that you're in. Like, I have these stretch marks on my arm, and I think they're kind of cute. But other people will probably, like, try to, oh, let me hide my arm. No, I think it's kind of cute, my stretch marks on my arm. I think it's kind of cute, as long as I'm being healthy for myself. So it's just like, when it comes to mass perception or, like, those people who control Hollywood, let's real. I've never been the type of person who've always wanted to be on Hollywood Boulevard. I've never always wanted to be in California. Like, I mean, I think it's probably because I grew up in New York. And I already see how this lifestyle is. And it's not all that, but it's definitely not the worst. Not the baddest of the barrel. Like, it's definitely not that. So I have advantages of just being here in New York. I have advantages of just being a black girl, honestly. I have advantages for being able to use my two hands. I have advantages for being right-handed. There's people who are left-handed who have scholarships for them being left-handed, or people simply being able to write with two hands, being ambidextrous. So when it comes to opportunities in bigger cities, you could get an opportunity for even, like, let's be real, you could get an opportunity for being white. You could get an opportunity for being black. You could get an opportunity for being Asian. You can get an opportunity for being Latina or Latino. Like, there's literally scholarships out there just for black people, just for white people. However, there's this thing of being inclusive and having diversity. So when it comes to a PWI, I'm not bashing PWIs, but when it comes to a PWI, predominantly white institution, oh, wow, wait, we have like 5 black students. Let's put him on the brochure. We have an Asian student. Let's put her on this. So it's like all about how people perceive it. Perception is not always a bad thing, but it's about the way that you manipulate it to create a story, or that you actually tell the story. So if you tell the story and you know there's some shame in it or an embarrassment from you not knowing what the truth is, if you like know there's a truth, like a bad truth to a story you're supposed to be telling, and overall it's just like, in the end this will bite you in the butt, but you know you're still gonna post it, you still want to do it, like, hey, you only live once. I mean, we're in quarantine, why not? Then be ready to take the consequences after, like, be able to take the backlash. Like, I'm not gonna say I was always the wisest in the bunch, but let me tell you this, I would never post a video talking about how I lost my virginity, or a video like, oh, the time I was drunk as hell at the club. Like, unless it's an actual moral or story behind it, or like, oh, the time that I got drunk and I had a one-night stand. Like, I would never make a video like that, because I don't want that, like, one, information to be out there, but then two, that's just like, what do you gain from talking about that? Like, unless you're trying to warn someone else from, like, being, like, to be safe, there's just no point of you telling your business out there for what, clicks and views. So all these people can know your business, and when they see your name pop up oh, that's the boy who did this. Oh, that's the girl. It doesn't make sense. Like, it's dumb. So, back to this. Back to Keisha Coleslaw and the live that I just saw. I'm going to go under the comments, under her page, because I think it was like a spam page. I didn't know if it was really her page or not. But I just wanted to tell her, like, girl, I applaud you and how you kept your composure on that call, because I would have lost my marbles. I literally said something along those lines. Like, let me tell y'all what it is. Okay, so she shared this thing, and it now has 411 likes. And underneath the live, she said not she was talking about the afro. And so under it, I had commented. What did I post under it?
I don't like them.
And so under this video, I'm gonna pop it up here on the screen, what I said. But I could go to my likes and stuff like that. So let me tell you guys what was up. Underneath the post, I was just commending her, like, girl, I applaud you for, you know, keeping your marbles, because I would have lost it. Like, I would have lost my marbles if this girl was really sitting here talking to her face like that to me and sitting here laughing. Like, it would get me annoyed, but, like, I have also a level of maturity where I would just sit there and look at her and just complete silence. But I couldn't vouch for which was going to come out first. So I like how she kept herself, you know, serious, stern, and direct. Like, what is so funny? So I'm going to put you guys on to what I said. So she posted a video. She said, it's cute how some of the people in my comments, this is what Keisha wrote. She said, it's cute how some of the people in my comments are sticking up for her and that she shouldn't be out here like that. But first of all, she said herself that she's not going to apologize. So she obviously wouldn't care herself. She put in quotation, she has a 4.0 GPA, so you can't even say she's young and she's learning. Obviously, it wasn't, since she, quote-unquote, knows her history and has a 4.0 GPA. So she's saying all this stuff to make herself look good, the girl who's on the camera. Like, oh, I'm smarter than you. You can't talk bad on me. But then you're out here disrespecting another person and letting your followers talk about their hairstyle and saying her hair is not done. So it's like, what? And you're sitting here laughing like, are you big mad or little mad? Then, you know, these investigators, like, I mean, they're doing it for a good reason, but these people done found out the girl boyfriend. They said, but isn't your boyfriend black? And then people in the conversation was like, and this is why black boys should not give girls out of their race an excuse or a privilege card to say certain stuff, because it's not acceptable when they break down black women who are entitled to say those words or feel a type of way. Oh, I have a black boyfriend, so I can say that. So it's like, no, that ties back into the Cardi B connection that I was trying to say. I'm never coming for Cardi B as an artist. Like, I used to sing her songs like, hey, pop up, guess who? Like, going on. Like, I used to be listening to 6ix9ine, like, not listening to him like a fan, but, like, I hear his music and, like, bop to it. But, bro, do you understand? You're not black. Why are you saying that word? Like, it's to uplift people. Yeah, you're not using the ER. Yeah. But the whole connotation of the word was not meant for your people. What's for your people is for your people. They call, like, I have some classmates who speak about their struggles of what it meant, like, for them to come to America and be Spanish speaking. They said that they didn't like how some people used to call them gringos and gringas. Have I ever heard that term before? Hell no. I never heard what a gringo was. I never heard what a gringa was. But when they were vulnerable enough to open up why that was like an insult to them, I would never go around and be like, oh, y'all gringos and gringas on my, like, I would never do that. And it's not because, like, oh, I'm not petty enough to do it. Like, I have pettiness in me, but that's just low. So for someone to know that that word and the connotation of nigga was not for their people, for them to use it and blatantly not care and like you can't do nothing, that's where the line becomes like, you're disrespecting me and you think it's a joke. At the end of the day, to the majority of society, the white people who control the top 1%, who own a lot of money, who also probably do have a lot of taxes, but that's not the point. The point is that they're the top people with the top income coming in, and they support and run this, you know, like, economy. So they do that. So for you to, like, turn that down, please, because I don't want it to be copyrighted. So for people to be like, oh, I mean, at the end of the day, I grew up so and so. At the end of the day, I was raised with black people. That doesn't mean anything. That does not mean anything. You can't put apples and oranges together and say I have an apple orange tree. No, you either have an apple tree or you have an orange stem and you're growing something from it. Just because you put two things in one environment doesn't mean it's going to come together and make one thing and you have the same unity, the same root, the same stem, the same composition. It just doesn't add up. Like, it don't make sense. And that's just simple anatomy with fruits. So I had put under that comment where she said, if this girl was so smart and she was so big and bad about what she said, why could she, like, not apologize for, like, you already know, guys, she's not going to apologize. She blatantly said she got a 4.0 GPA. She thinks she's all that in the bag of chips. So nobody can tell her nothing. So I commented under it early on this morning. And I said, lame ass excuse is almost just as played out as slavery was. So Shawty needs to be expelled, all scholarships revoked, and write a public apology to you. All I did alone, I didn't even read that girl's caption. I just seen that clip of her, like, being attacked low-key, but it was, like, being joked off. And I don't like that. Like, even me being in elementary school, there was my friend, and she didn't speak English, but she had just came from Africa. And so she was in the older grade. I was, like, in 3rd or 2nd grade, and she was, like, new in 5th grade or, like, in 4th grade. And I used to, like, pick on her low-key or, like, make fun of her accent, like, oh, you're an African booty scratcher, and, like, play around with her. I was like, hey, are you okay? Like, you want to talk to me? Like, and look at me like a 2nd grader. Like, girl, why would I hang out with a 2nd grader? But it's, like, it's not the point that I'm a 2nd grader. It's that I went up to her, like, hey, you want to be my friend? And, like, I didn't know how to pronounce her name because her name is from her country, straight from Africa. Like, it's my country, too, but I don't have direct, like, you know, I have, like, family that can fly out to Africa and I know them. But I know I have family, blood-wise, DNA-wise, connected to Africa. So she had just came, like, from Africa. And so her name was too long for me to, like, pronounce it. Like, I didn't know, like, it was even cut short. So I was just like, what's up, my friend? Like, literally, anytime I see her, I would say my friend. Like, the other day, like, probably, like, last year, I saw her little sister. Her little sister didn't really know me because, obviously, I was a little bit younger than her. And so she was probably, like, in kindergarten or starting. And anytime she's like, oh, hey, my friend. Like, we don't even know each other's name. Like, we don't know each other's name. And me and my African best friend, like, my native African best friend, like, she's from Africa. We cool. Like, anytime I see her, she's like, girl, yes, I go to this school. And they always trying to fight me. And it's like, I see her little sister got Americanized, but she was still, like, you know, in her traditional, like, you know, I'm going to stay back, but I'm really smart, so I'm going to participate when I can. I don't care if I'm going to make fun of me. But it's like, in that moment, it's just like, I liked that I was able to help that girl. Even though she was older than me, like, girl, like, she, like, I didn't even know her name. And I was just like, hey, my friend. Anytime I see her, hey, my friend. And that's all I have to say. And I know she's going to say something back and be like, hey, and respond to me. So from young, like, before social media was around, because I didn't get social media till, like, 5th grade, I've been helping people and not really getting acknowledged for it. But just me knowing that I had that connection with people and that bond, like, we're cool, that was enough for me. So when it comes to this YouTube stuff and everybody's like, oh, follow me, sub for sub. Oh, follow me on Twitter, follow me on this, that, and the third. I don't really care for it. Like, truthfully, I don't care for the likes. I don't care for all of that. But if somebody could vibe with me and understand, like, where I'm coming from and I could learn from them, that's what I'm doing it for. I mean, eventually the money's going to come. That's just it. Be sure to pre-order your Beyond bracelets. This is mine. This actually came with the knob. Right here, I have to screw it back on. But the other ones are just adjustable. They don't have the knob yet. So, yeah, be sure to order that. Check the bottom, the description box for more info. However, when it comes to, like, helping people, I just do that on a regular. Or, like, if I don't help somebody, I feel bad. Like, it's not like I have to know them. Like, I don't want to speak about all the good stuff that I've done. But there was a situation where I was coming from in the summer, because I did this in my summer camp. Thingamabob, we did this at one of our demos. And this is an oil pastel, like, image. And I just put it on my wall. But it was this boy on a train, and he was just crying. Like, he looked sad. Like, I didn't know this man from nowhere. But he looked like he was probably a teen. And I was like, I don't know. And I was like, should I speak to this person? Like, in my head, I'm there debating, like, should I ask him if he's okay? What if he doesn't want to talk about it? I was like, low key, we live in New York. We kind of dirty. Not we, but like the city as a whole kind of dirty. I was like, what if I tap him and I get bed bugs? I was like, I was like, wait a damn minute. Like, I'm telling you all the thoughts that came to my head. And so I was just like, I'm going to stay my distance, but I'm going to ask him if he's okay if he want to talk real quick. Because I didn't know when he was going to get off his stop. And he don't know when I'm going to get off my stop. But everybody in the train probably viewing him and just looking at him sideways. So I was like, hey, can I talk to you? I was like, you good? You want to talk? Like, just as if I knew him. Or like I'm a tourist or something and I'm just randomly asking people questions. He would never know and I would never know either. And I was just like, hey, what's up? Like, I don't remember exactly what I said. But I was like, I just want you to, you're going to get through it. Like, you're going to be good. And he was like, thank you so freaking much. He was like, can I hug you? And I was like, I was like, you know what? Screw it. I mean, I'll just take my clothes off and I get home and put it in the bag, sanitize it, clean off my hand extra hard if that were the case, because I don't want to get, like, bed bugs. Like, I don't want that. So, nobody wants that. So, I was just like, and I gave him a hug, and from there on, I was like, you could add me on Snap. I'll text you whenever. It's whatever. Like, you could randomly hit me up. I don't care if I don't know your name. We could just talk or whatever. And so, from this day, I still have him on Snap. And so, it turned out he was actually older, like 20, or, like, about to be 20. And I was like, oh, wow, I wouldn't even know. Like, I just saw you as a person. I didn't think of your age. Like, what if I'm a minor and I'm talking to this grown man? No, I saw him hurt. I was like, are you okay? Like, I mean, boys can cry, too. That's a whole nother topic. But let's shorten it. I'm going to get to the receipts. I'm going to probably just pop it up on the screen. But I don't know how I'm going to do it. So, I'm going to just show y'all, okay? So, I'll let y'all know that the girl owes her a public apology. So, from here, girl, it's a whole 27. And it's from me talking to this girl this morning. Because it was just like, girl, what are you doing? But I'm a very intellectual person. But I'm also very petty and sarcastic at times. I mean, it'll so be it. Like, so that's just it, you dig? But, I was actually concerned. Like, when I wrote this, like, I said that from the bottom of my heart. Like, that girl needs to give you a public apology. All her scholarships needs to be revoked. This has to be as hard for her as it is for a person of color or a person who isn't as advantaged. I don't like saying person of color. That sounds so segregation-like. But a black person or anybody who has a disadvantage, who is in a wheelchair, who has a mental disadvantage, anything that they have, like, however hard it is for them, for her to have that privilege and come online and say that, even if she is a part of a marginalized group, and just blatantly not give a F, I felt like everything she had or she was about to get needed to be taken away. I'm not entitled to say what should happen, but let's talk about it. Like, I recommended that, people who have a bigger following, they help out. Like, yo, you got to stop that. But let's be real. When all this TikTok stuff go down, we contacted her school. We made sure that she got suspended. No. Take away her money. Take away this. Take away the phone if you can't. Like, take away the chip. Like, I don't care. Like, just take the whole phone away. Like, I'm not going to get all parenting, but I feel like scholarships should be removed for a fact. Because you're taking advantage from somebody who you was just making fun of. So, therefore, you need to work 10 times harder to get that advantage. And I feel like if you're so smart and you got your 4.0 GPA, girl, what's it going to take you to just jot up some, random words in your brain and say, at the end, I'm sorry? What's stopping you? You got a 4.0 GPA, girl. That should just come like this. Just do it. You don't have to be sincere. Just do it to save your behind. Why not? So, as I said that, and I mentioned, as played out as slavery was, because people like to say slavery was 400 years ago, or however many years ago they want to say slavery was. However, if somebody's going to change something on you, or they're going to give you a little bit of freedom, it's always going to come with a con. So, even though we're physically free, that one withdrawal is, hey, all of y'all is in debt. All of y'all is in student debt. Y'all need to pay y'all debt. Hey, okay, you're a free person. But if you go to a free state, I'm going to get you with the Fugitive Act. You better stop. Okay, you're a free person, but wait, was your grandfather able to read? If your grandfather wasn't able to read, then you can't vote. Then you don't have this opportunity. Like, what? So how you going to give me one freedom and try to take away all the others? Okay, guys, you have the Bill of Rights, and then you have all those other amendments. But be sure that 13th one, because once you get in our jail system, all your rights is taken away. So it's just like, so what freedom are you really talking about? You're talking about me not physically being whipped in public anymore. But there are people who are being lynched. Like, you don't understand. It is 20 and they just now abolished lynching. Are you kidding me? How many years ago slavery was done and those lynchings were done in public and recorded? Emmett Till and all those people who got killed, a 14-year-old dragged for what? Flirting with a white woman, and he got dragged, beat. They hooked him up to a car, dragged him and rubbed him against a floor, burnt his body. And it took his mother balls to say, have an open casket. I want y'all to see what they just did to my son, my 14-year-old son, for talking to a white woman. So the fact that all of that happened to a little boy, a minor, they didn't even care about that. Minor, so be it. I don't care. You're black and you just did that to a white woman. You disrespected her. It's a problem. So as quick as it was for a white woman to say, he did this to me, I'm so hurt, please stop. Or any woman's entitled to say that when they really feel like they're being harmed. But when it came to that special white woman, why is it that a couple of years later after his death, she confessed to lying about, like, lying on Emmett Till? So you're telling me you lied? So you're telling me you just took this innocent black person's life for the fun of it? So now when women actually are hurt or they're being disrespected by men, regardless of the skin color, nobody's going to believe a person who's a minority over they're going to believe a white person. So it's like with the representation, I acknowledge those people who know that they have a right and they actually speak about it. But then also don't be trying to be funny with that, because us white people have privileges, but we have to understand that black people are unfortunate and we need to help them. No, I want to see you actually help other black people, and let me see how you actually are doing what you're talking about. How you're being an ally. So, with this situation, it was just more so of knowing your history, because that's the bare minimum, to be honest. Not really bare minimum, but that's what I've gathered so far from U.S. history, because I took what I learned about my people and I kept that close to me. Because, like, Native American people, I don't see a Native American history book. Like, I don't see that. Like, I don't see a Native American book. Like, I don't. And many tribal dances and many African beats, African dances. If you really look at the connection, a lot of Native American people, they have like their tribal things where they, okay, I'm trying to talk. So a lot of people have a lot of Native American people, they have their tribal dances. Matthew, shh. Like 5 more minutes, please. So, shut up. So a lot of tribal people who are like Native American and actually American, they are more so like, they have like a certain beat. They have a certain vibe. They have certain vibrant colors. Like, you see colors behind me. Like, they have certain textures and stuff, certain beads that they associate with the way that they give back to their ancestors, whether it's like the nature that they live in. Back in Africa, there's a lot of, okay, we worship like more so our crops. Like, our resources are the way that we make money, or like our actual entities, like if we have pigs, if we have goats, almost the same way it is in Jamaica. Like, I went to Jamaica and I saw a hog. I was looking like, what is that? I saw a chicken roaming around in the, like, my American self, like in the 3rd grade or 2nd grade, I think. We went to Jamaica and I saw chickens just walking around like in a pen. I said, I saw lizards. Like, I mean, it's a tropical island, so of course they have other, like, you know, they don't have roaches and subway rats like we got here in New York. But I was just like, that's a lizard? I said, oh, hell no. I said, I said, I don't like it, please. I said, y'all got snakes? Grass snakes? I said, oh, no. And depending on the part where you are, some parts are more developed than other parts, like neighborhoods here in New York are. When they didn't have regular working plumbing and, like, we had a barrel, like, you know, of water if you needed it, I was like, what is going on? Like, no lie, I'm going to tell y'all this. When I had got there, I was like, Mommy, are we in Africa? And my mom said, don't disrespect her country like that. But I realized she's not only talking about Jamaica, she's talking about Africa as well, because it's like, don't disrespect either of our countries like that, because of the way that it's portrayed on TV and the way you see these kids starving on TV. in Africa and all these third world countries, I'm looking at the TV screen like, so this is how they live in poor nations like Africa. And it's like brainwashed low keys because I'm a black person. My ancestors came from Africa. But now when I look at the TV here in America, I see people with their rib cages showing from Africa and they need water. And I'm just like, oh, wow, they are really hurt. Like, they really need help. And so it's like just seeing that system of the way that perception really works. And like perception is crazy. Like until I step foot in Africa and I see that nice crystal clear water and I taste that nice good up African food, I'm not going to know what I was missing out if I keep looking at this TV screen that I have. Like I'm not going to get that, experience. So it's just like, unless you go out of your bubble, like, unless you hop on a plane, unless you hop on a boat, unless you hop on some way of transportation to go out of the Americas and see what other beautiful places there is, you're always going to be stuck in the brainwash mentality that these countries need us. These countries are poor. But it's like, no. People always like to shit on Haiti, bro. Everybody. Oh my God, Haiti, y'all always having these earthquakes. Y'all people dirty. Dominicans and Haitians are not the same. Oh, Dominicans, we not black. And so I'm like, what? Like, it was never really serious to me, but now it's becoming more serious to me because when you're growing up and you have to mold yourself into a certain person or, like, you let certain things shape you into why you think a certain way, it's like, you need to understand that I'm going to grow with this or I'm going to go through this and, like, push through it and suffer the consequences later. So let me just get into this flipping video before it becomes a whole hour-long video and read what was said. Because like I said about Haiti and the Dominican Republic, we're going to read more about this and what this girl's response was as to what I said to this young lady, Keisha, about the girl in slavery being so long ago. So this girl, her name is PR_SHORTY__, I'm guessing. So I'm guessing it stands for Puerto Rican Shorty because PR is like, you have DR is Dominican Republic. So I'm guessing that means Puerto Rican Shorty. But she don't say shouty like how we say it up here. So she said, let me reinstate what I said. I said, lame ass excuse. It's almost as played out, quote unquote, as slavery was. So shouty needs to be expelled, all scholarships revoked, and write a public apology to you. That alone got close to 10 likes. I didn't even realize because it don't alert me when people like my stuff. But I don't really care for, like I mentioned before, I don't care about the likes and stuff. I just want to speak with people and connect with them and get to know why they think a certain way or teach them the correct way because it's kind of messed up how certain people have certain notions in their head. Like I did as a second grader when I went to Jamaica and asked my mother if it was Africa because of what I see on TV. So it says right here. So the girl tagged me, Puerto Rican _shorty. I'm assuming her name is. Y'all gonna see this yourself. I'm gonna put like a slideshow, whatever. And I'm gonna just breeze through it quickly so I don't have to actually read all of it. So she said, you want to know something, love? Then she put in all caps. Black people were slave owners to my beloved. Kissy face, kissy face. What? So then another lady was like, so then another girl commented and she was like, she at the girl and she was like, my sister's in the back talking about me to her friends right now, if y'all want to know that. So that's why I'm talking about. Yes, you was. Don't try. She swears she's a hot tamale because she got money in her hand right now. However, the girl, she said, you want to know something, love? In caps. Black people were slave owners to my beloved. Kissy face, kissy face. Then a girl commented under. I had to look at her profile to see, like, I don't know if about her or what, even if she was a lady. So she was like, Puerto Rican shorty, are you Hispanic? And so then the girl said, I don't know this girl's age, y'all, but let's get into the tea. So she was like, Puerto Rican shorty, the girl answered and she was like, I'm Afro-Latina. So I said, ma'am, what? Do you hear yourself, sis? I ain't even going to use the word sis. It's obviously not the best term right now. Ma'am, what? Spaniards, and I put that in all caps, Spaniards were holding Hispanics and Spanish-speaking people down. ... I put the ellipses, and I said, in uppercase letters, I was like, not black people. The original, and I put in caps, Spanish people. And I said, ellipses, I said, please, just please, don't do it to yourself. I'm begging you. So I didn't really want to go into it with this girl. I truthfully did not want to have to break this whole down, not hold down, but like this whole thing down to her. But it ended up having to happen. So she then asked me again. She said, I ain't doing beep to myself. I know my people were slaves, but y'all sitting here, quote unquote, standing up for a shorty that don't even know her real history. Like my nigga, do you know what black people themselves was slaves owners, treating other black people like shit? And I'm like, huh? And I'm just like, okay, before I just say, huh, girl, shut the hell up, I actually broke it down to her. So I tagged her. I was like, ma'am, that's a given. All people turn against their own. It may not be as visible as other folks are. And by the simple looks of it and your identity that's presented on social media, I don't feel okay with you saying, my nigga, since you were bringing up the point that the girl in the video lacks knowledge. So I'll make the assumption that you aren't entitled to say such term and would kindly tell you once again, stop. That's all, my dear. Stay blessed. So I corrected myself because I had said something, like I spelled term wrong. Then I said, lastly, the black peoples who were slaves were not on the meter. The black people who were slaves were not on the scale of the meter of melanin that the woman in this live has, nor I have. More so women who were mixed with white in them. So, in caps, invalid claim, comma, I said, you should rest, dear. It is kind of early or late, so I understand the misunderstanding. That was a contradiction in itself, but I'm saying I get why she might not understand what I'm trying to explain to her, but I honestly don't care. Like, kisses, good night, go to bed. But no, she continued. And I'm going to post it right here to let y'all see what it is. And just let y'all know, because at this point, it's no point in me going back and forth. I was being more so like resourceful and like petty at the same time because she started watching my story. And I'll just show y'all the screenshots of what I said and of what else was said after. So be sure to look at these clips. And y'all let me know y'all views on it. You let me know how you feel about TikTok. You let me know how you felt about this video. It is lengthy, I know. So actually, I'm into the YouTube Insider thing, so I could break this up into chapters with the timestamps below. So if you want to hear a certain part, all you have to do is just click to that part, and I'll put that timestamp so you could see exactly what I'm talking about and listen up to where I finished. So I'll be sure to, comment back with y'all in the comments. And I have another video that I'm going to be doing right after this. Matthew, shut up! I have another video that I'm going to be doing in the comments after this. And with that video, it's more of a lighthearted video and more of a funny video. But that's all I had to say. This needs to stop. And this is how we can start doing better. Because by the looks of it, nobody really cares too much. And then when people do care, it's seen as them over-exaggerating. Which is not the case. You just want to be heard. And yeah. So that is a wrap. And I will get with my Busybody gang. And my next upload, it's really more lighthearted. And I know y'all going to feel with it. Y'all going to deal with it heavier. Y'all going to like it better. So, yeah. Thank you so much for listening. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Comment down below if you even got this far. And just let me know your views on everything that's said. Correct me if you feel like I said something that was wrong. And let me know. So, mwah. Love you. Mwah.